I thought we played pretty sound for about 32, 35 minutes tonight. Obviously, the ball didn't drop like it did like on Sunday. Um, I thought, the first half I was pretty pleased. I think we had 9 assists, 5 turnovers, and then we had 3 assists the second half, and we turned it over 9 times. And when you're struggling offensively to make shots, you got to give yourself every opportunity that you can to get shots at the basket. And we just we weren't sound enough in the second half to do that. I thought we did. Turnbull's a good player. He's Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Year. Um, Last year, his offensive game has gotten better. I thought when we were able to get to him and double him, we caused them problems. They turned it over 15 times. But there was two crucial breakdowns in the second half. One where we didn't recognize and didn't go double him, and he scored, and then a second where our rotation out of the double was poor, and we gave Hunley an open three that he makes. You can't give him open looks. So disappointed with the loss, but I thought there was some play that was good. We didn't make some shots that need to fall for us. And I think we got to be better finishing around the rim. When we get the ball to paint, we got to be able to put it in the hole, and we just haven't been consistent enough with that.
You talk about maybe the issues in the second half. To you, what maybe changed from the first half to seeing some of those in late in the game?
I'm not sure. I don't. I mean, I have to watch the tape. I don't think anything schematically um, that they did change. I thought we had some silly. We had some very careless turnovers. Um, just pass catch. I thought we just in the first half I thought we had a couple opportunities. I think we were up three, maybe the second to last media timeout, and we couldn't stretch it. We couldn't get it to 5, 7, 8. It ended up going into halftime with a deficit. I thought we made a run there in the second half, got it tied. I think we had a free throw to maybe take the lead, and we missed it, and we just weren't able to get over the hump. But like I said, there was these guys did some good things, just not enough of it.
Yeah, and then talking about the good things, you guys had 71% from free throw tonight. Ties the season high when you shoot over 5 free throws. Even though you guys, walked away with the loss tonight, how do you address those little victories to the team and keep it going?
But I think you got to keep, this. It's early in the year. I think there's some growth. It was good to see Joey Hart back on the court tonight. He can give you a spark offensively. But he looked like he hadn't practiced in a month, which is the defensively, not offensively, but he looked like he hadn't, from a defensive standpoint, he looked like he hadn't practiced in a month, and um, but he turned a bad offensive possession the first half into 3 points, which he has the ability to do. Had another really good look that we're very comfortable with. Um, and so it's good to get him back on the court. Fish is still battling all his injuries and from his fall, and then he's had a knee issue all year, and so he continues to get out there and fight. I thought, Preston, coming off his game on Sunday, tonight was a really really tough matchup for him, and I thought he competed. He'll be able to learn and grow from that, but you just got to be like we Turnbull's a reigning defensive player of the year in the league, and you can't just go in there and just let him play volleyball with it 5 times. And he's obviously he's good. He can change shots in there, but you got to go in there with a plan and be a little bit smarter in our decisions there around the rim.
You talk about Joey Hart. I know you said I think he had an MRI on Monday. What did that MRI show, and kind of what's his timetable looking like as far as getting back to being healthy?
Yeah, he's had some unique injuries. He's had both of his feet have been injured, but the latest was the MRI showed plantar fasciitis, which if any of you guys have ever had that, it's very painful. It's kind of a pain tolerance thing. He's a tough kid. Got out there and competed tonight. So we got to continue to work him back into game shape. and kind of go from there. And then obviously that changes some of your rotations. Um, and we got to be better at handling it as a team.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
with
trying to break in the press room here.
with some of the injury things, like you said, it's early in the season. How do you kind of address that to the team and get some of the younger guys ready if the injuries continue throughout the season?
Hey, you just play. I mean, injuries happen. Like you play. Like you don't make excuses about it. We had, um, you go out there and play. You get opportunities. Like Fish got knocked out the other game, and Preston Coleman stepped up and had 10 and 16. Like you've got to be able to fill those roles when they happen, and when opportunity knocks you, you kick that door open and you take advantage of it. And like I said, like it's you know it, when I watch the tape here on the bus on the way home, like there's gonna be some frustrating things, but and I think there's gonna be some things that we saw. Um, that we could have taken advantage of that we didn't see in live action. And just some of the things that we could have done. And you just got to continue to show these guys, continue to teach, continue to show them the film where the openings are going to be. And then they got to get out there and make plays during the game, and we'll continue to improve in those areas.
In the final minute and a half, Evansville had a 9-0 run. And I think, you look at the conference season, which is going to be later, but you look at it, and a lot of those games come down to that final minute and a half. What do you think this team needs to do better in that time period to maybe come out with a win?
Well, I think the game was over by that time. The only thing that affected was the betting line. I mean, the game was out of hand at that time. It ended up 12, but um, at that from about a minute and a half over the game was pretty much, well, they had won the game. So, our breakdowns and what I'm more concerned about was really probably throughout the course of the game there were some things, but in particularly probably the last 6 or 7 minutes of the game where we had a couple key mistakes.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
you can go ahead, Zach.
To you, how do you clean up on those mistakes?
Just continue to practice. You continue to put these guys in situations, continue to believe in them, continue to coach them, continue to show them, and just keep putting in the work.
Yeah, so along with the no scoring in the minute 30, there was a mark around the 9 minute mark as well where you guys kind of had a skid. So in that moment, how do you talk to your players to kind of get that up and going again and kind of get back into the game?
Yeah, I think there was a section of the second half neither team scored for a long period of time, and you got to continue to just like hey like it's going to happen. Shots are going to fall. The thing that can be consistent is your defense. I thought we put another solid defensive effort out there on the floor. But every again, like when you break down in a couple times, you get dinged, and we just weren't able. Like you're not going to win a lot of college games with scoring 52 points, and so we've got to be able to knock some shots down and like I said, be stronger around the rim and get some points in the paint that can open up some things for us on the perimeter.
And then my last thing, you guys are back home in your next game, but what do you think the team can take away from this 5 game road trip?
I look, I touched on it a little bit the other day. I think this team's got to continue to come together. They got to continue to, um, be great in their roles, understand, accept, and understand, and then accept what their job is, and then they got to go do their job. And when we get more consistency in that area for more guys, then I think we'll see different results.